I think it's very, very personal, the way to approach a new piece, and it's always different for every performer and for every individual piece. So I have thought a lot about it, especially after I have graduated, when I had to start, so to say, my own. I thought that the best way, the most healthy way, so to say, to approach a piece is first through the scores, of course. Not recording. For me, it's very important not to listen to different recordings, even though I admire all these pianists that have recorded already these pieces. I have a favorite performance too, but I think it's very important to start alone with the scores and try to understand, okay, what did the composer in this case, what did Schubert want when he was composing this piece. And especially with the impromptus, it was very difficult, because they're very famous pieces, and then it's always the question, what can be done on a new way, what can be done on a different way. And I think it shouldn't be new, it should be just very personal. So I think what really helped me is writing down some of the harmonies, and then considering how do this harmony influence, or how do these harmonies make some tension between each other. And we have the beginning of the second impromptu, which should be really peaceful and really beautiful, and it's actually very melodic, although there is no melody. It's not a piece that you can say, hey, you know this piece from Schubert, it's too much effort to sing it, so there is, in this sense, there is no melody. But for me, all these passages, all these fast notes should sound really like a melody. So I would practice it on this way, that it has to be very melodic. And so on. And I would also consider what is the left hand doing, because the left hand has two levels. We have one really important B flat, which comes on the second beat, and nobody hears, but I think it's very important. So it's it makes always here's something new. This has helped me a lot to think about the interpretation. Then I would think, okay, this is with the B flat, but the bass voice has also an own story to tell. And here, quarter note, for first time quarter, Abschluss. And then think about what is most important, and sometimes show one voice, sometimes I wrote in my notes Farben, so colors. For me, this is all colors. It's like this E flat minor. It's so beautiful after the E flat major that we're used to it. Already heard 3 times this beautiful singing passages, and then it's all harmonies. And I would also think only harmonic here. And so on. So the harmonies are really important for me in this sense. And then going back to the first. Then we go up. Accent for the first time. I think we have accent here, so we can show this a little bit more. And always think about what to do and what not to exaggerate. And this makes it personal. Then it comes the second part of the impromptu, the middle section of the impromptu, which is in B minor, and it's for me it's very risoluto, and it's written ben marcato, so we really have to change character here, and quite abrupt, really like a shock. It's also in fortissimo. So for me, it's really important to see the scores are suddenly they look also completely different in the middle section, and then you think immediately there is a contrast, such a strong contrast, and I do want to show it. And then we go back, of course, to the singing beautiful melody that is not a melody. And this gives us again piece. The most genius moment for me in this piece is in the coda, and we hear again the risoluto section in B minor with this chord, and we expect what we have heard already. Yes, we have heard these harmonies before, but instead of this comes this beautiful E flat minor, which is amazing for me. This is really the most important. So we have for me this is completely Schubert. I get, oh, it's so beautiful that even every time I perform it, I'm like, oh, thank you Schubert for this E flat minor, because it's so unexpected. It's so beautiful, and then the piece ends in the E flat minor. So for me, this is really the best part. Completely different story. For instance, with Norma, as I already told you when we were talking about how do I approach the piece, I did approach it with the full score, with the partitura. So I knew, of course, the opera, but I have to be honest, I knew the best of. That means Casta Diva, some really famous arias. So I haven't been so much aware of what a pressure piece that is. So I bought the full score, and I was listening. Callas is my favorite singer all times, so I was listening a lot, and my approach was, as I told you, to write down the text that in this case Norma or Roveso or the whole choir is singing. And for instance, here this is my most favorite part of the opera, the finale. It's so tragic, it's so beautiful. This is actually the only thing I disagree with Liszt, is how he ends this paraphrase, because the opera, the original opera, ends with this tragic aria, Padre tu piangi, and then it's very, very tragic. And of course Liszt makes best out of it and comes back to one other aria, which is Gera Gera, but of course this works perfectly for the public. But for me, the most important and the most touching moment from the opera and from the piano score was the De non voler li vittimi, where Norma asks her father for forgiveness before she dies. And when you know this, when you know the text, and I do sing it every time in my head while I'm performing, then it does influence us a lot while we play and while we listen, I think, I hope. And then for me this is the most beautiful part of the whole opera, and also from the whole piece. And as I said, here should be the finale, but what Liszt writes is of course one big virtuosic ending which works for the public.
Pity you stopped playing.
Oh, no, it was just an example. It was, I'm not even warmed up, you know, that we've been talking for an hour, so I just wanted to share with you which areas have really influenced me and have really touched me.